Mr. Abhijit Mukherjee is Managing Director of Tenneco Automotive India Private Limited. He's going to share a few insights about his company to Automotive Horizon. Mr.
Nice to meet you.
Mukherjee, can you throw some light on the relocation of plant?
Right. We had our main exhaust facility in Pune in a place called Sanaswadi.
Okay.
We have had that for a number of years, but now we are essentially facing a constraint in expanding in the same location.
Okay.
Therefore, we decided that we would need to build a new facility, and we acquired land in Chakan a couple of years back. And we are in the process of completing the new plant this year. And we hope to move in sometime around in the quarter 3 time frame, somewhere September onwards.
What is the size of the facility that you have?
The size of the facility in terms of covered area will be close to 11,000 square meters. It will have space for complete exhaust manufacturing, as well as separate space for an engineering center.
Okay. So mostly, the focus will be on Tata Motors, of course. We have a
in fact, our main customers on the exhaust side are going to be or are essentially Mahindra and Volkswagen, and the third major customer is Renault Nissan. That we do it through our plant here in Oragadam. So I guess there you're right. Going forward, it will be essentially Mahindra, Volkswagen, GM also, and Tata Motors.
GM
Hello.
Yeah. So proximity, going near to the customers, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what is the investment envisaged?
Unfortunately, I cannot give you specific investment because we don't share that.
But you have overall investment plans for India, right?
We have overall investment plans, and as the only thing I can say in that respect is generally we have made a lot of investments over the last 3 years, and we will continue to do so going forward. We have, for example, invested in Chakan, as I just told you, new facility. We have invested in a new plating facility in Hosur. So, and we will continue to invest in new equipment to increase our capacity as and when demand rises.
Can you also talk about the manpower right now you have and the kind of demand you foresee in skilled?
Well, we have currently over between 1,500 and 2,000 people currently working in India. It's kind of I'm giving you a rough figure because it keeps on changing a little every month almost. But we will continue to expand our requirements as our volume picks up, as it has substantially over the last few years. And obviously, in terms of skill levels, we are looking at higher skilled people both on the shop floor as well as at different levels, for example in product engineering and so on. So this is definitely a challenge for us.
Exhaust,
in emission side, definitely a challenge, as well as on the right control side too.
But how you're planning to groom these youngsters?
Well, we are trying to establish some relationship with training institutes and engineering colleges, so that we can hire some of these people fresh out of school.
Campus recruitment.
And campus recruitment. management
and mold them into
and try and get them to kind of work the Tenneco way and imbibe the Tenneco values, so to say.
So your foray into Indian market, and how you set up first facility in Hosur.
We actually went into the Indian market a number of years ago, but at that time it was as a joint venture.
Yeah.
But we then found out a few years back that was not possible to expand with the requisite amount of freedom that we needed with a joint venture partner. So we decided to essentially become a wholly owned Tenneco subsidiary. And I think thereafter, things have gone much faster for us, and we have acquired a lot more new customers and businesses, both on the ride control as well as on the emission control side.
Your focus will essentially be the domestic market, right?
At the moment, we are exclusively focused on the domestic market. We do some exports, to be honest, but it's very small, very small.
So you'll also be catering to your parent companies, requirements.
At the moment, not specifically. We do some intercompany shipments, but these are small in nature for specific products.
So your focus is
but the focus primarily, I'd say 99% is on the India market.
And in Hosur facility, what are the products you're making?
Hosur is our largest ride control plant, so we essentially make shocks and struts for all the, I'd say currently all the leading OEMs here. For example, we make it for the Toyota Livia and Etios. We make it for the Nissan Micra and Sunny. We make it for the Ford Figo. We make it for GM Spark. We make it for the Mahindra vehicles.
The proximity is exactly, you are able to cater to all the segments.
Yeah, because it's one is, but for example, for Maruti Suzuki, which is one of our biggest customers, we are catering to them from our northern plant in Bawal, which is just past Gurgaon. So I mean, in some cases it works, in other cases, depending upon volume and customer requirements, we would have to set up new locations.
In terms of volume, can you quantify the annual production of all parts put together?
It's difficult to kind of work it out in that way, but all I can tell you is we are already producing in excess of 500,000 units per month for ride control products. For exhaust, that unit is really doesn't make much sense, because a unit can be something as small as a pipe, or it can be as large as a full system. So it's more difficult to quantify things as units.
So what is the size of Hosur facility?
Hosur facility in terms of built-up area?
Yeah, built-up area.
It's close to around 9,000 square meters. I think it's somewhere, I don't remember the exact figure off the top of my head, but it's somewhere between 8,000 and 9,000 square meters.
So when did you start this Bawal facility?
Bawal facility was started in towards the end of 2008, but we actually started supplying the customer on serial production from 2009.
There also you make both the exhaust as well as...
No, only shocks and struts.
Okay. So that will take care of northern belt, right?
Yes.
Then what does Pondicherry do?
Pondicherry is only making specific sintered metal components which are used in our ride control products for valves and other items. And this is a pretty specialized product. So we have invested in some machines and equipment to make those products, and we want Pondicherry to only be able to concentrate on those products, and so that's what they're doing now. They used to make some shocks earlier, but we have now transferred it out.
Essentially it's a small unit, right?
It's a small unit, yes.
Highly focused.
Yeah, highly focused on only making these sintered metal components for our own use.
Okay. Now you're also in talks with Nissan down south, rain obviously. So what kind of synergy and what kind of business?
Well, as I told you, we are already supplying for the Micra and the Sunny, and some other new platforms that are coming on.
Okay. They're very ambitious of launching a slew of products.
Yes,
right?
yes. So we are there with them for quite a few of the products.
So what is the year-on-year growth?
I can tell you only that it is, again, we don't like to give out revenue numbers for India specifically, but I can tell you that it has been substantial growth, in excess of double-digit percentages over the last few years.
From now to another 4 years?
We expect that the growth will continue.
At least double, because a lot of...
I cannot say whether it will double or not, but I can say that the rate of growth that we have experienced will continue.
Okay. And can you also talk about these 10 major programs that you have?
Well, major programs is really in terms of customers and platforms. Okay.
It's more to do with customer relationship.
It's more to do with specific products that we are supplying for customers, because each platform for us is a program.
Correct.
So you can have multiple programs with the same customers, or you can obviously have different programs across customers.
Right. So how about this virtual tech center that we were talking about?
The tech center in Chakan,
yeah.
Yeah, well, it will primarily concentrate on the emission side. It will look for to support us in application engineering, testing and validation for both light vehicles as well as commercial vehicles on the emission side. We were not able to set up a fully fledged engineering sector in our old facility because we didn't have enough space. But now that we have this new facility, we are planning to expand the engineering capabilities.
And how about the aftermarket?
Aftermarket, we are supplying through our dealers in India, and we supply primarily ride control products, shocks and struts, and our main brand is Monroe.
Yeah. So through distribution, wide distribution network you have, you utilize that and
Yeah, we supply it through the dealers.
So you're also tier 1 supply to the OEMs as well, right?
Yes. We are.
Do they have any cap on you supplying products to the market?
Well, I mean, normally speaking, as long as the product is different and we don't use their own proprietary technology, that is fine with them. But obviously they would always like to put as many restrictions as they want. But normally speaking, I think the government is also interested in promoting competition in this arena.
Correct. And see, can you give in terms of percentage, like who is the largest customer in India?
At the moment, I think on the ride control side, it is definitely Maruti Suzuki in terms of sheer volume.
Yeah. Okay. So now Nissan and all are coming up.
Nissan and all are coming up, so we will definitely see a slight change in percentages, but for us currently Maruti Suzuki is a big one on ride control. On the emission side, Mahindra is big for us in the emission side, but then also Volkswagen is coming up fast, Renault Nissan is coming up fast.
Do you think it is pragmatic for you to have a base somewhere in this part, because you have most of your south-based customers are here, except Toyota there, and many of your new customers like Renault, for example, or Nissan. So do you think it is feasible for you to move closer to
Chennai? Well, as I said, we already have a plant in Chennai.
Okay.
So if we want something, we might expand it, but we.
No, specifically like what the virtual tech center you have at Chakan. Now Mahindra Valley has come up, Research Valley has come up in a big way.
Okay. Whether at this moment, I would say that it depends a little bit on where our engineering resources are. So that
maybe in future,
we might have a look at it. As of now, we don't have any specific plans from that perspective.
Okay. And commercial vehicle segment, do you have any?
Well, commercial vehicle segment, we are just getting into it, in the sense that yes, we have some business, but we are more excited at the possibilities of business that will come up because of increased regulations.
Right. So more and more regulations are on the offering.
Yes.
And now yesterday, Times reported that automotive passenger cars have to carry.
Yes, that in terms of fuel efficiency, yes.
In a way that is actually, government is also encouraging this competition to happen.
Right, to an extent. Obviously, the emission regulations are more to do with clean air rather than fuel efficiency per se.
And what according to you, when Government of India should, be initiating giving more focus on the aspect of pollution?
I think it is important for all our health and our future generations' health to make this to put much more emphasis on clean air as such. You can see it in the developed countries that the air quality has improved after these regulations have come into force, much more than they were. So I think that is always a positive for us in a number of ways.
Do you also work with electric vehicles segment?
We are not we have some business with, for example, Mahindra Reva.
Okay.
On the ride control side.
Yeah.
So
especially Reva has a huge market in Europe, especially in UK.
Huge is, I think, a little bit of an overstatement in terms of the numbers, but they have some business in Europe, true. But we are supplying them.
Okay. And Tata Motors is also working on.
Yeah, I mean, on the ride control side, if wherever it is, the customer selects us, we don't have a problem supplying them, and we do that.
What kind of opportunity you see in this segment?
Electric vehicles will still be, I would say, a small part of the overall vehicle production worldwide. So it will still take a number of years for it to catch up.
Okay. So do you also supply Prius from India?
No.
No. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. Thank you.